Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everyone's had a great 4th of July weekend. I want to tell a really funny story. So this weekend we did some things a little bit differently at my household. And so what we did was we took a couple adventure trips. And yesterday during our adventure, we drove down to Arkansas and the craziest thing happened. We came up to a light and the kids are like, oh, there's dogs next to us at the light. And they're like hanging out the window. And the owner's just smiling and waving. There was another lady in the passenger seat and one dog was on her. And then there was another guy and there was a dog behind them. And we're at a stoplight and I kid you not, the boxer in the passenger seat on the lady's lap jumped off in the middle of the intersection. This dog jumps out the window and flies. The lady in the car opens up her car door, shuts it, and she goes flying after the dog in the middle of the intersection. Now, remind you, we just got into Arkansas, and we're at this four-way stop with a light, and this dog is running. The owner's chasing it in the middle of traffic. They've got a second dog hanging out the window, and the lady got the dog, but they had to go through traffic to get over to the dog on the right. They're going the wrong way, kind of, to get to this dog that jumped out of the window. And none of us expected a dog to jump out the window at the intersection. So talk about chaos. That was like the nuttest thing, and our mouths just dropped because this girl just took off in the middle of the intersection going after this boxer. So that was quite the adventure yesterday when we were on our way to our adventure. So I think right now with COVID-19, we've had a lot of chaos right now. We've had a lot of things that are not consistent, and our kids in our daycare centers and our family, our own kids are all feeling this. So one of the things this weekend, because I've been so sick of electronics, I'm telling you, I'm beyond electronics right now. My daycare centers do not have TVs in there for a reason, because I don't want to get the kids hooked, but it's been hard. Our kids went to spring break and never came back. They never went back to school. So I've got my own kids are hooked onto electronics. I'm sick of it. So what I did was I got the bowl out and I gave them all this weekend on Saturday morning 3 pieces of paper. Our whole family took 3 pieces of paper and we put ideas in it of what we could do to put our life kind of back to normal, where my kids and I and my husband felt like we had some type of control. And so we did. On Saturday, we picked out 2 slips for the family. They all wrote their ideas on. My 15-year-old had a harder time with this. He's like, I don't know what I want to do, but I figured out he's more of the introvert compared to my 10-year-old. My 10-year-old craves having his friends around and stuff, and he needs it. He's more like me. We like that social interaction, but with COVID, we have not been getting it. And even with going to travel ball, it's still not the same because we have all these social distancing rules we have to follow. So we did this weekend. What we ended up doing is we went down to Arkansas on Saturday. One of the tickets that we pulled was my husband's, and we played Top Golf. I have not golfed, I don't think, ever. So that was quite the thing because I was terrible at it. But I did score a couple times because if you made it close to the hole, they gave you points. So we did Top Golf, and then we had picked my ticket, and my ticket had a lot of stuff that was like family-oriented stuff. Like we went to the batting cages for the boys. I picked stuff that I knew was an interaction that the boys would like, and that was physical, so they would not be on their electronics. The same thing with your daycare centers. Do you let your kids have choices throughout the day? Sometimes when we're doing transitions, I'm like, you can hop to the table or you can act like a turtle going slowly to the table. I give them choices because the control is not there like it used to be. At home, they probably don't get all the choices they normally had because of COVID that's been taken away. So make sure kids have choices throughout the day. You can still follow your schedule, but you can still give them a lot of choices. So yesterday, we pulled out 2 more tickets. Yesterday, one of the tickets said to go to SOAR Trampoline Park. Obviously, we could not go to SOAR because of COVID-19. So that was one thing we told my son, well, later on, I know that's something that you want to do. You can bring a friend. We did drive up there. It was open, but there was no one there. And I don't blame them. I mean, because of COVID going up in our area, that's a high risk. So we told them, we liked your choice. Let's look at something else. The next one that was picked was Dave & Buster's, and that was also in Arkansas. And that's where we went down and we did the social distancing and everything. We followed all their rules and stuff, and there was barely anyone there. But giving the kids some type of control is helpful, especially during this time. I mean, we have a lot of chaos in our world, and these kids need structure. We had a great weekend. I think the kids felt like they had more fun, and we had a family bonding time, and we got to see a boxer jump out of the window of a car. Who would have thought that would happen today. But think about that. What can you do in your schedule and with your kids and your family so there is some sort of control when we're all in a world of chaos? Anyways, everyone have a great Monday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.